Ben Shapiro, actually, after the election, had a two-tweet thread that was on this, which I responded to, and I think this kind of lays it out. He said, last night was not a referendum on Democrats' excellence in governance. It was a referendum on Republicans' lack of seriousness. Democrats will misread this and keep doubling down. So if Republicans get serious and drop the frivolous BS, 2024 could look very different. If culture war isn't frivolous bullshit, by the way, it's key, but it's the icing on the cake of competent governance and earning trust with voters. See DeSantis, Ron, and Youngkin Glenn. Icing on a bag of weird ain't gonna win you elections. So I did respond to Ben. I'll get into it in one second. But what he's saying there, I think, which is the key part, is that we can fight the culture war, right? I do this show, we're constantly fighting the culture war, the gender stuff, the woke stuff, the race stuff. And that is a huge piece of it, to competently fight this. But actually what people want more is good governance. I really believe that, at least on the Republican side. They want good governance. They want a simple system that does what it's supposed to do and doesn't do much beyond that. So if you have a good, competent government that is fighting the woke, fighting the culture wars properly, and then using a winning message, which I really believe is pro-family and pro-freedom and pro-America, then you can win. So I retweeted Ben and I expanded on this a little bit. I said, this seems right, but we also have to accept that probably 40% of the electorate wants bigger government, more lockdowns and mandates, higher taxes, and less control over their own lives. Changing that reality isn't political, it's spiritual, right? This is something I often talk about. DeSantis has laid out the blueprint for effective governance partnered with the aspirational message of freedom. Dems know a certain amount of people just want to be governed harder. At the end of the day, if California, Pennsylvania, New York want more of that, then good luck to them. This is the beauty of federalism. If you woke up in New York and you don't want your kids injected during COVID-6, make plans and move. And if all the freedom of Florida is bothering you, go ahead and move to New York where you can pay more in taxes and be assaulted on the subway. America, with some American flags. And that really is what it comes down to. And I think that, I'm talking about the blueprint as my message today, but that concept there, that you have some autonomy over your life, is the most important thing that we have as Americans in terms of your ability to think and act for yourself, but that you also have some choice, that this blue-red map that we have all over this country, that, most of the states don't move that much anymore. We have our hardcore blue ones and our hardcore red ones. But don't forget, Florida was pretty damn purple and flipping back and forth for a long time. Now it is as red as it could possibly be. Again, Ron DeSantis won by 20 points. Actually, I'll just throw this up real quick. The numbers here on the amount of people that voted for Ron DeSantis. He had over 4.6 million votes. Chris had about 3.1 million. You must remember the key part of this is that Ron DeSantis won his election in 2018 by less than 40,000 votes. It was like 35,000 votes, something like that. He almost lost that election. It was basically under 1%. And the guy that would be governor right now in Florida, Andrew Gillum, turned out to be a meth addict. That's how close Florida was to the precipice. And then DeSantis comes in and does it right, keeps his eye on the ball, acts bravely, governs as a competent manager, and this place is working.